Konnichiwa, gamers! It is me, as always, the Juice Man 3941. What's a happening? It is Friday, and every Friday, well, hello to you. See, that's what America's about, my friends, is when people join in on the broadcast. But here's the thing. Every Friday, I'm going to be bringing to you a segment called Why You Are Wrong. And I'm not necessarily pointing out necessarily the gamers. I may not even be necessarily pointing out the reviewers. Okay, hell with that. I'm actually pointing you all out. See, this game I'm playing right here is Homefront Revolution. This game where the North Koreans invade America through a backdoor system, and that's basically what happens in the game. And if you must know, I bought the game because when it came out, because I just was such a fan of the first game. And granted, I knew this was being made by Dan Busters. And by the way, Dan Busters is actually was made up of members who actually were part of Free Radicals, who originally also was Art of Rare. They gave us GoldenEye and Time Splitters and all that other stuff. Free Radical being the latter. One of the things is that while you're wrong, it's very important to understand that I want to point out some things of why you might, I know the reviews have been critical and harsh of this game, but I want to tell you that I feel like that it's unconfounded because, number one, the first thing that I believe that they were wrong about was they were trying to tell me, or not just me, but the gaming community, that the problem was that, this game had all these frame rate drops, and oh god, it would drop down to like 10 frames a second. I never experienced that on the PS4. Perhaps that was on the PC. The PC Master Race, and we did this and that. No. I'm sorry. PC is I know you might be big PC gamers out there, and no offense to you guys. Hey, guess what? It's a dead system, in my opinion. Anyhow, see, in Homefront, I never really experienced that with PS4. The other thing that really bothers me and perturbs me about the reviews of this game, is the fact that reviewers out there actually, believe it or not, sat here and praised, mind you, the gameplay from the Far Cry series. Moreover, Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. And this game borrows many, many elements from those games. Like, it's not like you have to, I thought I could jump over that wall, but it's not like, you really have to, look at this game and say, wow, they kind of did. They borrowed a lot of elements from, thought you could get out this way, but maybe not. They borrowed a whole lot of elements from that series, from Far Cry. And to be honest with you, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it's necessarily, something that we can sit here and be like upset about because, they borrowed these elements. Be nice if I could see where I'm going, but I really can't. Having a difficult time here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna say I know I got a flashlight somewhere on me. There we go. Now I can kind of figure out how to get out of this little area. But anyway, there we go. Gotta turn that off. Don't want to get spotted by the KPA. And you see, this game in the open world part of the segment here, where you have to kind of go to these checkpoints and waypoints and try to take over bases, which you can do guns blazing or even stealthily, as a matter of fact. And it just kind of bugs the hell out of me that this game running in circles here. That the gamers out there, and mostly though the reviewers, not so much the gamers, had to sit here and just say so much negative things about it. And see, I had the light in his face and he looked away. I mean, that's reactive right there. That's actually really cool, something that you don't see in a whole lot of games. And one of the problems that I had overall with the reviewers in particular was that they praise Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4, which are outstanding games in their own right. They praise those games as being these amazing, experiences. And they are all in their own right. Like they're very good. I think you do have to go this way. There's just got to be a way to get through this rock and rubble. And yet when Homefront Revolution takes the exact same thing, the same idea, the same concept, the same everything, and does the exact same thing, you all kind of, the reviewers and people out there kind of just took a big damn dump on it, like they just thought it was this terrible thing. I don't know why I'm having, oh, I see, you gotta climb up here. If I can get up there. I know there's a way to grab it somehow. I'm just probably not doing it right, or maybe you can't. Sorry, I haven't played Homefront in a minute. I just recently picked this back up. But anyway, on to that. And that's one of the reasons I think that you cannot praise Far Cry's gameplay. And you play a game with the exact same type of gameplay. Pretty much the exact the way that it is, and then you have to sit around, and then you're gonna say this game's garbage. See, I have a problem with that. You can't say that one gameplay is great and the other one is not great. That just doesn't work that way. Here we go. Here's the back of the bus, and it just doesn't work for me. You know, I really hate that. Another thing this game borrows heavily from is, if you see what I'm doing here, you know, I'm actually gripping the wall, and I got my gun set up against it, and I can like look over it and look around in case there's anybody walking around or enemies, and I can blind fire. And this right here is pretty much identical to Crisis. Another thing that's very identical to Crisis, I can hold up my gun and I can like add a scope, change the barrel, convert it over to other types of weapons. It's pretty neat, and that's exactly what Crisis does. And yet the reviewers actually said that, like, took a dump on it for borrowing the elements from Crisis. But they loved Crisis. They give them a great review. This is why you're wrong about this game. You can't sit there and say, well, that game's great and I love the gameplay mechanics of that game, and then turn around when another game does the exact same thing, same gameplay, same mechanics, and you say it sucks. That doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't think that's just kind of a ridiculous thing. Mr. D. Ron, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Nope, that is actually Homefront the Revolution, and yes, it does borrow elements from good old Blops, if you want to call it that. And that's what that's about. And that really bothers me, and that's why you're wrong about this game. Another thing that is really interesting about this game is, if you go back to the beginning, which I can't show you unless I start the game over and take me a minute to get there, is the facial animations of the main characters that when they're talking to you. Like Dana, for example, she's this wild-eyed crazy chick, and she was all content to torture you. And the voice acting amongst the people sounded very like realistic. It was very like a camaraderie. They've known each other for a little while, and it was not like some kind of subtle thing. And I just recruited this guy. Another cool thing you do is recruit NPCs. That guy's on my side. And what really bothers me about that is the fact that they also said that they didn't like that either. They had a problem with it. I'm like, why do y'all have a problem with all this game when it really does borrow real elements from other games and does it equally well? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And it really just bugs the hell out of me. I just don't get it. Why is one game's gameplay and another game with the same gameplay and the same elements, like, okay, Homefront sucks, but Far Cry is great, even though, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Far Cry. Far Cry is an amazing experience, but this game also has like pretty much the same experience. But no, it sucks. It's not this. It's not that. I don't get that in the slightest. It doesn't make any sense. And here's some stuff I can pilfer here, which is good. No, and then which is great. So secure the train yard, and there's going to be people here I'm going to have to probably fight if anybody shows up. I may have already cleared out part of the area, so this may be why they're not really doing much of anything. Oh, this is really cool right here. So you gotta get on this bike, just to show you real quick. Just another little cool gameplay. And to power this thing up, you gotta drive on this stuff here. You gotta wait a minute, let me back up. And you gotta get on top of here, brake, and then rev the engine while you're going, because it's a makeshift power thing. It's just really cool the way they did it, just to start it back up. I mean, it's just a cool little thing you can do, you know. So that should be good there. And again, that's a really cool gameplay element, because again, Korea has taken over everything, and you've got to, you know, there's all this stuff, and it's just a really cool concept. There are people outside, as you can see, and there's like a drone out here that's flying around. There he is, looking for us, which I'm going to blast here if I get a good shot. There's a sniper way off in the distance there. And this is my point, people. This borrows so much from Far Cry, and yet you all have this crazy problem with it. I can't see. Got him. Got you there. And that to me is a big huge issue. Ooh, headshot. Got him. I better get back to cover. Gotta get cover. Got blind fire this guy. It's just a really cool concept. Oh, crush your face against the wall. You're done. And it's just this really cool, game that lets you another face crush in the wall. Yeah, take that, KPA. That's right. That's right. And the thing is that that's one of the problems that I have. Why you're wrong, I feel, about this game, because it does borrow those elements. But another reason that why you're wrong about this game is the fact that yes, it may not have it has this really cool asymmetrical co-op kind of thing that is really fun to play. I just took this over, so I get this area now. It's kind of freed up. And again, just like Far Cry, you got this big open world map, and I'll show you the map here. And it's just huge. This is like all of this, and then you'll get this, and then this part opened up. I mean, it's just huge. This little area here is just one part of it, trying to take over the city. Not to mention that when you get into the yellow zones, time fast forward, by the way, when you take over stuff. Not to mention that it just when you get into these yellow zones where you get to walk around, it's kind of stealthily driven. It's just really cool, like how they kind of incorporated some elements, like uh-oh, I'm in a hot zone. Gotta get, oh shoot, get out of there. And it's just they incorporate these really cool elements that reminds me a little bit of Deus Ex, and reminds me a little bit of a lot of things, as a matter of fact. And yeah, that vehicle there is going to be problematic, but I can. Let's see here. How do you throw this? Oh yeah, gotta get rid of that. Yeah, blow up that vehicle there. There, gotta do one more. Hopefully I'll get it. Yeah, it's still going. There it goes. Getting shot here. Oh, it got me. Well, it has kind of got some difficulty. It's okay. I'll redeploy back at a safe point. But my point is about this. My point is about this game is that it brings me about why you're wrong. You're wrong about its voice acting. You're wrong about its graphics. The graphics are actually not the best, but they're really good. It does have a competent multiplayer co-op system, and like I said, it borrows all these elements, some elements of Crysis, some elements of Far Cry, and does them equally well. And yet, everyone took a big shit on this game. And I have a big problem with that. That bothers the hell out of me, because it shouldn't be like that, It should not be like that, This is why you're wrong. Like, you can't sit there and, again, shit on this game when it does the same thing as another beloved series does. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, personally. And I really wish that people did give this game more of a chance, because to me, it deserves it. It deserves more of a chance. You can scavenge from enemies. It's got a great crafting system, and it's just one of those games that just to me really spoke to me, because I'm a big Far Cry fan. I've been all the way through part 2. I've been through all the way through part not only part 2, but I've been through part 3, and I've already been through part 4, and part 4 so far being my favorite of the series. I have not played Primal, and I'm sure I will get around to it. I would like to pick that up, because I am a Far Cry fanatic. And when I started playing this, that's exactly what it reminded me of. I was like, but everyone just hated this game. It's really cool in the daytime. Look at the watery effects there on the ground, where you can see the skyline in it, because it's rained recently. And that's really cool to see, with the puddles and all that. It's got the slide mechanic. When you get to, like I said, when you get to this one yellow zone, that's where it's really cool. The yellow zone is just really cool, and because you can stealthily do stuff, you take on little side quests. And it kind of has an almost Deus Ex, like walking around Detroit kind of feel in many ways. I have to take these guys out. There he is. Let's see if I can get this guy right there. There, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, he was kind of a heavily armed guy. I think I got him. 2 more left. This is just, and this is one of those random instances, strike things that happen here, by the way. It's just kind of, hey, we're in trouble, you need to do this or you need to do that. It's actually really cool. This guy's outside. I don't know where he's at. I brushed the glass out there. I don't know where he's at. There he is. Got him. Shot the hell out of him. He's down for the count. It's right. Get over it. You're done. You know, there's one more guy somewhere around here, I think. Because my guys are still shit. I see him. There he is. I think he's above me. On the other floor there. So I need to go up and take care of this KPA guy. And again, like I said, this is just one of those. Where is he at? I know he must have went up another level or he went somewhere. Gotta find him. He's hiding out. Oh, here's some lockers I can get into. This is stuff you can sell. Where's he at? I don't see him, but anyway. That guy, oh yeah, I gotta loot his body. Boom! That's what I'm talking about, stuff. And again, this is why I like the game. It does have that Far Cry-like element. There's stealth elements. There is just a lot you can do. Here we go. Took over the warehouse area. And again, this is what I'm talking about. And it's just that whole idea that rubs me the wrong way, that people just shit all over this game, but you're wrong about it, gamers. You really give this game a chance. It's a really fun game. And reviewers, you were wrong about this game. And again, I can't irradiate this enough. You cannot, repeat, hate on a game like this that has the same element, that borrows elements from Crysis and Far Cry and does it is equally well, and then love Far Cry but hate this one. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And you know, and it just kind of bothers me. You know, I don't know why they do that, but that's what they did. And it's just one of those things that just kind of wears me out. I'm gonna take this guy with me. They're recruited. Later on, you recruit like 3-4 guys, and you'll have like a virtual, like, you know, army with you. It's actually really cool. Let's see what I gotta do next. I got some email here. You can talk to this guy. Well, this shows you your main points. This is a strike point you can do, and I can track the mission. So that's one of the places I've got to take over next. There's also side quests. Like I took an assassination mission, so I have to go assassinate somebody. I mean, I spent like a long time in this red zone, and there's other larger and bigger red zones you get to, just having fun going through the game. You know. Like I said, it's just one of those cool aspects to the game. I love it because it's like Far Cry, but instead of being in a jungle environment like they almost always are, or some kind of forestry environment, or mountains, you're actually in a city. You're actually doing this. Now here's this guy. Destroy him real quick. Climb over this wall. Boom. Gotcha. Another thing I like about the game is you can pretty much go in almost every building, and there's multiple pathways to your target, again, like Far Cry, but no, Homefront Revolution is terrible, it's a shitty game, it's blah blah, like whatever, get over yourself. Y'all wouldn't know, and that's what I'm talking about. That's why you're wrong, because you didn't give this game half a chance in seeing what I have seen. And you know what? That is what America's about, my friends, is about video games, playing them. And another thing that I need to mention too is it's time for beer in the throat. Ah, that's good suds. Anyway, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I just like to point these things out because to me that's important. I got to craft some bombs. I don't know if I've got enough to craft or not, because I got to blow this thing up here. Looks like I've got 4, so this is good. So I gotta get back this way, and hopefully these guys will run this way, alright, before I throw this out and blow a hole in the wall, so we can get in. You can do it this way, and there's a couple other ways you can do this. See, they run away, which is cool, if you want to take over this area. And that's what I like about the game. It's just got that cool aspect, and you gotta take over this garage area. See, they know we're coming, they heard that explosion. Boom, got him. And these guys should help me do this. And this is again like one of the coolest aspects of the game. I love taking over these bases. I like the fact that you can, like I said, you can go in almost every room, and I like that aspect. It's again, it has that more. I can't believe really that you guys actually. Oh, knife in the face! You're done. Sit down, fool. And that's my point. Like, I just don't understand how people hate on this game so much. They're just completely wrong about it. Uh-oh, we almost got spotted up above. You gotta try to stay out, like, not to raise the alarm 100%. And that's the one thing you don't want to do, because, oh, they know we're here. Got him. Oh, that's my guy. Shit, I accidentally shot my guy. My bad. I gotta heal him. Actually, no, I just took his stuff. Whoops. I thought it was a... Kind of jumped the gun there. Sorry, Resistance. That wasn't me. I didn't shoot him. You know, gotta kill him. It happens. It's no big deal. They'll get over it. It's not like I'm really all that penalized for it, to be honest with you. I gotta set this up and cause it to blow up and sabotage it so I can take over this area. Here we go, folks. And then, boom. Anyway, I'm going to leave you all with this. Yes, I know you might get your feathers ruffled a little bit because I just told you that you're wrong. Nobody likes to be wrong. Nobody likes to be wrong. Nobody likes... No, I'm never wrong. It's like, see, that's terrible. You know, oh my God. But anyway, my point is that nobody really does like to be wrong about anything. But I'm telling you why you're wrong, and you really should have played this game because it really is amazing. If you are a fan of Far Cry or Crysis or any kind of open world first person shooter, and I wish I could get to the Yellow Zone quickly to show you what you do in Yellow Zone because it's a completely different kind of game. You walk around, you're stealthily jumping in and out of hiding. It's very stealth oriented. You do side missions. It has some elements of like walking around Detroit as Adam Jensen in Deus Ex, one of my favorite games. And I think that's a really cool concept, and it's a really shame that everyone just took a big dump on this game. And I hope you seeing a little bit of this gameplay footage will actually show you, like, look, maybe you should have given it a different chance. The game is dirt cheap now, and it doesn't even cost that much. I think it's like 17 now. It's totally worth it, and I just really wish that I hate to come out with a video and say that you're wrong, but you're wrong. And I want you to understand that Homefront Revolution deserved much better than it actually received. And it's just such a shame that everyone just said the negative things they said about it, and especially since it has nearly identical gameplay to my favorite games, Crysis and Far Cry. Well, anyway, gamers, that's all I got for you today. Tune in here in a little while. I will be bringing you episode 4. This has been episode 3 of the Gaming Roundtable. I want to thank you all for joining in. D. Ron, give it a shout out. My girl Pam out there. Really appreciate you tuning in, listening in, watching my channel. And I'm glad that please tell your friends about my channel. Please hit that subscribe button and hit those like buttons, because the more subscribers I got, the more I can work towards like that goal of 1,000 subs. Because if I can get that, I might be able to get some advertising revenue and go back to working part time. Anyway, this has been the Juice Man 3941. Thanks for sitting down at the round table, and as always, gamers, good gaming.